Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the call, and we are very excited to be here. We're going to be covering the automated webinar feature, the product coming up here that's going to be soon introduced to our company. And it's an exciting new era with mobile marketing and certainly what Office Pro has already included and continues to include. And my pleasure to bring up our president and CEO, Earl Mann. He is bringing so much to the Com F5 table, and he's a visionary, keeps us ahead of the market, and we have an inclusive line, and he just keeps improving on what we already have. So my pleasure to bring up Earl Mann, our president and CEO.
Well, Connie, thank you so very much. I appreciate that introduction, and welcome everybody to today's introduction and overview of something we're really, really excited about. You know, for the longest, we've been serving small business and internet and marketing professionals with some pretty high-powered tools. And you know, across the span of the last decade, there's been a single problem that jumps out and has stood out as being one of the most fundamental challenges people have at building their brand and building business progress and all the things that we're trying to do individually, and that's solving the time-space challenge. And simply what that means, I know it sounds like a science project, but really what that means is, you know, in the age where things take a little bit more explanation or things take even, dare I say it, education, there becomes a challenge of getting people to show up at a place and a point and a time. And if you've ever put on an event at a facility, like a party even, you know how challenging it can be to get all the schedules to align and to get people to show up and to participate. To add to that phenomenon, we also know that the single most exciting, I'm trying to think of the right words, the single most exciting things that people will actually take a time to put in their schedule is an event. So we're excited today to talk about something that handles both of those phenomena in one of our newer tools in these automated webinars. And simply what it allows people to do is to create an event, to create that thing that people will actually slow down and pay attention to and put time in their busy schedule to attend, because they happen at a certain time and then they go away. There's like an event or a movie or a party. You know, people make time for those things. But also, because of this automation, because, as you will see through the demonstration today, that these events can be set up in advance, it allows you to solve the challenge, that time and space challenge. So we have a product in automated webinars where you can actually, in some point in time, take your time and put it all together and then offer it to the worldwide stage as an actual event with a precise time and that people need to show up and participate. So it's a really powerful thing. Internet marketers have practiced code for quite a while, and we're really excited to be on the front of the train that's going to be taking this powerful technology to regular professionals and to small businesses around the world. So I'm excited to be a part of that. So as usual, we bring up the star of the show, the man of the hour, the person that has both the foresight to put us on the path of getting this product developed and also the fortitude to actually have it developed, Mr. Jesse Music. So Jesse, my friend, I'm excited, and I know you've been working on this for quite a long time, and this has been a long time coming. So I know you are excited to jump in and give people a little taste of what's to come. And I have a very busy schedule today, but I couldn't miss the opportunity to at least be on the front of this and introduce you in as my good friend and partner in this business.
Awesome, Earl. Thank you very much. I appreciate that wonderful introduction, and it's a real honor to be here. I really look forward to every time we have an opportunity to get on the phone with everybody here on the training call. All of you guys are just great. Earl, I know you are a Marine by heart. You are a real Marine, and you are the kind of guy that says, show me the money. Every time I say something, you say, Jesse, I need some real-world examples. And so I went out and got you a real-world example today about how effective this thing is going to be for anybody. I called a pastor friend of mine, and I said, hey, pastor, he has a training on Wednesday night. I said, how is your trainings on Wednesday night coming? He said, Jess, we're doing really good. We finally broke 24. We finally broke 24 on Wednesday night. I just can't seem to get anybody to show up on Wednesday. So we started taping them with, and then putting it on DVD, and then I've been putting the DVDs at the back of the entry place where people can get them on their way out of the Sunday morning service. And I said, Pastor, how would you like to create a virtual environment so you could know who was attending your trainings? They could attend it when it was good for them. You could be there virtually 24/7 without ever having to leave your home. He said, say no more, I am in. So he signed up for one today. He is so excited. I showed it to him, and he was like, wow, this is going to be an answer to prayers. It brings accountability to his trainings. And then that's just a real-world example. It took me less than 5 minutes to sell him a Office Pro webinar account. And, when we meet people where they are, and we just show them how this is going to help eliminate some pain points, this is going to sell like hotcakes. This is going to revolutionize your income. Because a lot of people say, well, what is an automated webinar? Well, just a real-world example here again, Earl. We're all gathered together here on the telephone now, and you guys have dialed into my computer screen by clicking a link, and so you're seeing a video. That's what this software does, is it recreates my screen in video form onto your screen. And so to recreate this whole event so that later other people could dial in, and you, we don't have to be present when they dial in, but what this automated webinar situation does, it allows us to record this event and then just upload the video into the system and then let the automated webinar host the events just like it is now. The system will simulate people joining. It will also simulate real names it'll also put real names and simulate names. But you can schedule this automated webinar to run as many times a day as you want. And you think about it. There's a lot of people working night shift. They can't attend an evening webinar. There's a lot of people work day shift. They can't attend a daytime webinar. So we could set this to run in every time zone, at any time zone around the world. Not only that, here's some really new statistics. Did you know that in 2013, studies show that 87% of all internet sales has moved from lead capture pages with videos and with buy buttons to click to go to to go to a shopping cart, has moved your bigger ticket items from $97 up. 97% of those sales took place on a webinar. That's huge.
That's amazing.
It is. This thing is geared for every industry. It's geared for the teacher, the trainer. It's geared for the online salesperson. And what's even better is this thing is interactive, so you can program buttons to come in and out of the webinar showing on the video. So if, say, 5 minutes into our webinar, we said, okay, you guys have been here 5 minutes. I'm going to show a Buy Now button, and if you click that button right now, boom, that button appears. It's going to be on the screen for the next 20 seconds. If you click that right now, I'm going to give you a 30% discount off of what we're selling here today. So this thing can just really revolutionize all the way from trainings to sales. And I'm real excited about getting to it. And I'm going to quickly just run through it and show you how it works. It's real easy to set up an automated webinar. On the dashboard, on the home page, you'll find the automated webinar icon. If you click it, it will bring you to this screen. And I'm actually going to close the screen out and start it over. And here is the tutorial. I'm going to not go through all of the details today. I'm just going to kind of skip through it and show you what all it will do. But if you click on this little video screen here, this is going to open up the tutorials, and the tutorials are going to play. And I have detailed automated emails. We go through the emails. We go through how to upload your video, through setting it up. We go through every piece of this. And they're really short. They're only about 3 minutes long, so you can really get to it and through it really fast. So So let's go set up our new webinar. On the setup page, it's really easy. Obviously, you just name it, and then you can put your title in, and then you can put your description in here. Let's correct our spelling. And then you scroll down and put your presenters in, or presenter or presenters in, up to 2 of them. And then here's what's really cool is, let's just say that we have members that's here. We have members that's in Australia. We also have people that are in the Eastern world, in Thailand, Taiwan, down in South America. But we need this thing to run on their time zone. Well, if you schedule something, like if you schedule a go-to meeting to run at 3 p.m. Eastern, well, it's going to be 3 a.m. in Thailand, and they're not going to get up to watch your webinar. So how we fix that is, we have a little drop-down menu that says, I want you to run this time zone based on the registrant's time zone. So when my folks in Thailand, who is 12 hours ahead of me here in Central Time, register, and let's just say that I have this thing scheduled to go 4 times. We're going to let it go we're going to start it at 7 a.m., we're going to let another one run at 9 a.m. Well, let's do 6. We're going to start it at 7 a.m. We're going to have another one at 9 a.m. and we're going to let it do another one at 11 a.m. And then in the afternoon, we're going to have one at 1 p.m. We're going to let another one run at, say, 7 p.m. And then we'll let another one run at 9 p.m. I want to change this one to, say, 4 p.m. And then so this is what we're going to set this thing up to run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day. And that way, when someone registers, this thing will run according to their time in their time zone. So my friends in Thailand that are working during the day and they get off in the evening or in the afternoon, they can pick a time that best fits them. So it's that simple. It's really that simple. So we're going to scroll back up here and click the next button. And this is what's really neat, is we can enable simulated names. Because see, in GoToMeeting, WebEx, all the main webinars, they always have this little window on the side, and you can see how many people are joining the window. Well, we did the same thing here. And everybody wants to feel like that they are there with other people, so we can say, okay, I want you to let 100 attendees attend this webinar. And I want you to simulate the names. I want you to use real and simulated names. And I want you to use random names. We can use English names, Spanish names, French names, Asian names, German names, Portuguese. And I want you to use random names. And here I'd like for you to use random female. If you were just going to use say you were selling a product that strictly dealt with females, you could show female names only. And this would change and show you only female names. Otherwise, you can do mostly male or mostly female, or you can do random. And here you can have the first name, the first and last name, or random to make it look more real. And so that's what will happen. So when my friend over in Thailand starts joining, they will see other people, even if they are real names, will join the webinar, so they will not feel alone. And in the notifications, all right, okay, we already have predefined emails set up for you, so you don't even have to think about it. It's like when you go to GoToMeeting and you set up a webinar, your guest registers, they instantly get a welcome email. And we already have all those set up, and I'll show them to you over here in the letter library. All right, here's the webinar. If most of you haven't seen these, we have a welcome letter, and I'll just click the HTML so you can see it. Webinar event. It writes in their name, and it writes in the webinar title when I set it up. It also wrote in the webinar topic. It also wrote in the webinar presenters, and if there's 2 presenters, it'll write in both presenters. And it'll write in the date and the time that they registered for the webinar. And this webinar description, if you'll remember, when I wrote in the description over there, that's what this merge code does. It goes in and it pulls out the description. Here we're going to show them how to increase their attendance on, just say, Sunday morning service by showing people how to invite. And so this is a really, really important piece of email. So now you've got your welcome letter, and then 30 minutes before the webinar starts, the system will send that recipient or that registrant an email reminding them that the webinar is about to start. And then when the webinar starts, they will get an email with a link to the webinar so they can just click it. Now, I'm going to go back before I discuss these other emails. You'll see one that says, missed the webinar, they left before seeing your offer, and they saw your offer but didn't purchase, and the registrants who didn't purchase. All that simply means is this system has some really important smarts in it. It has a lot of logic in it. So the system can tell you who registered for your webinar but didn't show up. That's what this email does. It sends them an email to reschedule. Left before seeing your offer. You can time your offer in and say, okay, my offer is going to be at this juncture in my webinar. So anybody that leaves before actually seeing my offer, I want you to send them this email to reschedule for the next webinar or whatever, okay? And then this one that says, saw your offer but didn't purchase. This means that they made it to that point in time in your webinar where they saw your offer, but they didn't click the buy button and go purchase your product or whatever it is that you're selling or asking them to join. And then this one is registrants who did purchase. You can customize this one so that it will thank them for their purchase. Okay? Now let's run back over here and take a look at the webinar itself. Okay, that's what these are here. Now, if I want to add some more notifications to my registrants, I can by just clicking the Add button. So I can say this. I can say, okay, all of the registrants who missed the webinar, I want you to send them this email. All of the registrants who attended my webinar but missed my offer. So if you get the picture here, you'll understand that you can add different events, timed events, left before seeing my offer. You can add different timed events really easy. And here attended but saw my offer but didn't purchase, so I'll go ahead and select that email. All right, and you can even schedule an autoresponder to start based on that event. We even have the system integrated. We even have the system integrated with the list setup, so you can select your list name. So you can tell the system to put all of my registrants who registered for this webinar, put them in this list name. All right, then all of my registrants who missed the webinar, I want you to put them in this list name. So you can create list names so you can quickly and easily find out who missed your webinar, who attended your webinar but didn't purchase. So you can segment your list now based on what your registrants do with your webinar. And it's also integrated with the prospector. You can have the system move them into folders. So anyone that registers for your webinar, you can move them into that folder, and so forth all the way down. And this is another piece that's really neat. This is what I was talking about in the beginning. So we have recorded our webinar, and I've uploaded the webinar into the HTML5 library. Now, guys, there is not another CRM on the planet that has its own video hosting. And that's what's really neat about this piece here. I've already uploaded my webinar into the system. Here it is. There's my webinar. And then I'm just going to click Next. And by the way, if I wanted to have an introduction video, like on my registration page, I could. I could even have, I could add a video here of me saying, hey, this is Jesse. Welcome to the webinar. I'm glad you attended. We're going to give everybody just about another 30 seconds to dial in or to join in to the webinar, and you'll see the names that are populating on the right-hand side of your screen. Welcome, everybody, and just kind of give them about 60 seconds before my webinar actually begins, and that way the system starts populating names and they feel like that they're in there with other people. And then the webinar will play, and I can even add another call to action video that will automatically redirect. So when the video ends, I can have a special video that will play after that, just bang, 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 and they're all automated right inside there. That can be another big-time call to action. Now we're going to go to our delayed events, and this is what's neat. So here's my webinar here, the video that I just chose. It's 10 minutes and 30 seconds. I can add these buttons into the system, and I can program the link to my shopping cart, and let's say that like 7 minutes into my 10-minute webinar here, I can say, hey guys, anybody that will check out now, I can make an enticing offer. You're going to get 40% off if you buy, if you get it now before this webinar ends. So we can really, really drive some fear of loss. And then last, we just head on over here to our theme builder. And this is our registration page. I chose this theme. There's a button where they can click here to claim your spot. Here's another registration button. And I'll show you this. We have the registration page, the thank you page. When they register, they will see this page. This will write in the link, and the system will also send them the URL. If they click the link a few minutes early and get to the webinar early before the webinar actually starts, they're going to see this countdown, and this video will play. Hold on, I'll start it over. I can't. Let's see. Run it back.
Great, you arrived early. The webinar has not started yet, but once the countdown reaches 0, the webinar will automatically begin. Go ahead and bookmark this page and come back at the designated time, or if you prefer, you can keep this page open. This is going to be a great presentation. Don't miss it. See you on the webinar.
So this is really, really cool. And they'll see the countdown. If they arrive, say, 8 minutes early, they're going to see this countdown. And then as soon as it reaches the time that the webinar is supposed to start, just like GoToMeeting, just like a WebEx, this page will automatically redirect over to the webinar page, and that's where your video will start. And then they will also see, this is where on the right-hand side, they will see everyone joining. The video will play. If they have any questions, they will be able to type in their questions here and send now, and this will send their questions to you through your email. One of the other versions that we are, I believe it's version 2 that we're working on now, you're going to have a live chat, so you can actually implement a live chat while your webinar is playing. If someone dings you, it'll ping you on your computer and you can chat with them live. And then when the webinar finishes, when your video finishes, it will go to this page here, your finished page, and this is the thank you for attending. You can even have buy buttons, more offer buttons here. You can do anything you want with this page. All you have to do is go to the theme builder, and then just start building your page right here. It's that simple. Build your thank you page. And then when you finish, the system will deliver the link to your webinar. So I'll bring this up in preview mode and just quickly show you all of the pages. Each webinar theme comes with 5 pages. The registration page, then the thank you page, and then if someone clicks the link to join the webinar early, they will get the countdown page. And then when the countdown ends and it's time for your webinar to start, it will automatically redirect to the webinar, and they will see attendees begin to show up on your webinar. And then after your webinar finishes, you can go to the thank you page or the finish page, and again, you can literally design this however you want to design it. So that's it, guys. It's that simple. So you just simply grab your link and either email it out to your list or post it on Google, have a domain redirect to it, or whatever you want to do. Just drive traffic to it, and then you'll see the magic begin. You'll see people starting to join your webinar, go through it. So, guys, this is awesome, Earl. This is an awesome, awesome tool that can help literally, especially in any business, can blow it up. I mean, customers, whether it's recruiting for sales, for a new sales team, you can literally have them go through there and qualify them. And, I mean, you can really qualify your own leads if you're into recruiting. So I'm going to pass this back to you, buddy. I hope this has been great, as fun as it was for you. And it's all you, Earl.
Okay, just want to make sure, Earl, I know he had a busy day. Earl, are you with us?
Or back to you, Connie.
Oh, okay, yeah, he had meetings galore, so awesome product. We are very, very excited about what you've shown us, and I don't know if you want to open it up to questions, but before we even do that.
Sure, absolutely, that'd be great.
Yeah, there's just so many uses between other industry, similar types of industries, and teams, as you say, churches, and just trainers, speakers, the list goes on. So very excited, and we're so cumulatively as a group at the field and the company just very, very excited about what you've created here. And I have one question. So when the screen that you have on right now, you can actually, even up top, can you customize that as far as your graphics?
Oh, you can customize everything. We even added the social media piece here so that people can like your webinar.
Okay, awesome.
And they can tweet about it, and it shows the results. But yes, you can customize everything.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And instead of having the form here on the page, we added the shadow box, so it makes it much easier and cleaner.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, you've thought of everything, that's for sure. And that's what happens when that's what they'll see then. Register now, fill in the form, and you can design that again as well, correct?
The form is restricted, but everything else is completely changeable. I mean, you can change everything. Anything.
Okay.
I mean, you can change all this, every single element on here. What I do with my webinar is I mean, you can put your image here. You could also replace this with a small video of yourself. You can invite. These are very powerful. This type of registration form is really, really powerful because you can just make your claim here and then bullet point the benefits down here, and as they scroll down, and then you've got this big fat button right here, claim your spot, and then boom, pick your time, and away you go. Yes. And if you'll notice here, when I click this, I set the system so that it would not show more than 3 dates, and I also set the system so that it wouldn't show. Excuse me. Let me back up here. Yeah, I set it so it wouldn't show more than 3 dates, and it shows all the times. So now this person can click the time that's best for them. And what's really neat is if they live in Texas, or if they live in Taiwan, or if they live in South America or California or New York, when they click the link to watch the webinar at 9 a.m., it will be 9 a.m. their time because we use geolocation mapping to set the time in the system.
Oh my goodness, that in itself is, we're dealing with a lot of time zones, so that's fabulous. The form that you just brought up, that is standard. Actually, when I saw it the second time, I mean, there isn't anything else you need anyway. So that is the only kind of information. That's perfect. So.
You know what? We've done a lot of research on reserving your seat, and a lot of people just don't want to put their phone number in.
Right.
In most cases, it's wrong. Over here on the, let's go back to the theme builder. Oop. On the thank you page, you can insert another form here. You can even put that on your, put that on the main webinar page. If you like this webinar, whatever you like, you can give it up. You can give up your mobile number or whatever. You can customize this to whatever you feel like is the most effective for your marketing paradigm.
Awesome. One other question I had, and I know when people hear the word webinar, they often what is suggested is training and that kind of thing. But when you mentioned church earlier, so the reality is people could use a handy cam, a zoom in, zoom out handy cam as the webcam, and even go take it a step further than a small type training. But they could have could they even have a show kind of a thing?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. This would be great for a show.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
you can embed any kind of video in here. You can embed a YouTube video. You can embed anything you want to put in there.
Oh my goodness! Because
I mean, it's limited to your imagination.
Right. Fabulous. Well, you have gone above and beyond. This is very, very exciting. And so, are you okay with opening up the lines then?
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna do that, folks. And if you wouldn't mind, since it will be a global unmute, if you could please press *6 to keep your single line muted, unless you have a mute button. But we just don't want any extraneous noise. And also, if you put us on speaker, please take us off of speaker so that there's not echoing. So I'm going to unmute right now.
Buddy Bell, I have a question.
Oh, go ahead, Buddy. I believe I heard the name Buddy.
Yes. Can you embed the live streaming player in there?
We are in the process of making that's going to be, I believe it may be on version 2 of the live streaming for the video.
Yes.
Because after all, this is an automated webinar system. So if you set this up to run, 3 times a day, and it's live, you're going to need to be there. And we're in the process of working out some reminders and things of that nature.
Okay, thank you.
Jesse, this is Robert Lyons. I have a question.
Hello, who is this?
This is Robert Lyons in Florida.
Well, hello, Robert.
Welcome. Tag along, thank you. To tag along with the question that was just asked, what about a archived session from our live product? Will that work? Can you embed that in there?
You can embed the HTML5 video. We will need to look into that. If you could send that on into support so we can get that over to the programmers and have them take a look at the viability of that.
Okay, thanks.
You bet. Anybody else have any questions?
Yeah, I have another question, Jesse. It's Buddy Bell.
Hi, Buddy.
Hi. Go over what would be the uses for a church with this?
Well, several of them actually. When I was discussing this with the pastor, he has a Wednesday night service. It's not really a worship service. It's more of a teaching service, and he has a really he runs about. I think he runs a little over 200 on his Sunday morning service, but on Wednesday he's lucky to get 20 to 25 people there, and it's just simply because everybody's got their kids in school, and it's just really difficult for people to make that hike. And where he saw the real value was being able to cancel the Wednesday night service and be able to put his trainings online. And so he studies, and then he'll show up and do, a 30 to 45-minute training on Wednesday night, and just the drive to the church, the time it takes, and then cleaning up and all of that's going to save him and his staff hours and money. So he's going to put his trainings online, and where he really liked it is he's able to see not only who registers for the webinar, but he's also going to be able to see how far people go in the webinar. We're going to have some statistics here that's going to show you, how long they watched, how long they attended the webinar. So he's going to be able to see where he's passing out DVDs on Sunday now, and he doesn't know who's who's listening to the DVDs. Here, he's going to be able to see everybody and really what his congregation, how they're interacting with his teachings. So he's going to really be able to get some insight on, what people are responding to and what they're not responding to. That's one way. And then there's all kinds of applications that we could probably sit here and together on the phone and brainstorm on. I believe you're a pastor too, aren't you?
Well, no, I'm not a pastor, but I go and minister in churches all over the country or world, I guess. So I've been in a lot of.
Well, I'm going to kind of tie this into, if you do a lot of traveling, you do a lot of ministering in churches, there's nothing that's going to, that would ever take that effectiveness away in that particular service, the dynamics, and you understand what I'm saying. But in your line of work, your line of work kind of blends over to some of the speakers, and a lot of the speakers now, instead of traveling and renting hotels and driving people to the hotel, they have discovered that driving traffic over to their training pages is far more effective, cost-effective, and profitable. And here's what I mean by that: is they have a sales page, and they're talking about their training. And when you click the buy button, say you find value in what this trainer is talking about, he's selling his training. So he'll send them over to the his PayPal account, and let them buy his training. And I don't know what it is, whether it's $5 or $500. And then, but he sets his PayPal to redirect over to his webinar registration link. So when they check out, then PayPal redirects them over to his registration link, and he has a video on the landing page, on the registration page. It says, "Hello, this is me. Thank you for making that purchase. I'm so glad you've chosen to be successful with us, da-da-da-da-da." And then he instructs them to go ahead and register for the webinar that's most convenient for them. So he's selling his trainings online, and he's loving it because it's completely cut out, he says, 75% of his travel and hotel expenses.
Yeah, I would be very interested in that because I have books and training systems. Will this work inside of an app?
Yes, it will work inside of an app because the video is HTML5.
Right. Oh, great. Great.
Mm-hmm. It'll work on iPhone. It'll work on every device out there, every web-enabled device that we know of so far, like your video email. It's the same process.
Great. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So, you guys, there's a few of you on the call here, and I always say that the early bird gets the worm. You can use this for yourself. You can use this to drive traffic, to recruit more, to sell more product. You can, the important thing is you could create webinars not just for your personal products that you're selling, like Buddy's planning on doing. Buddy's going to be able to, he can create PowerPoints, webinars, and buy buttons that will program in, that will link to his books and his CDs and all kinds of things. And so you can do that for yourself, but just think of the ocean of people that you can turn on to this product when we make it live. I mean, literally, when I believe Earl is going to have these packages ready very, very soon. But just think about the ocean of people that you can create who They may not necessarily need a video email account, but they could sure use some help on automating their sales. This is great for sales automation. I mean, this is literally like growing money on a tree now, because you can, a business, a company, an entrepreneur, anybody that has anything for sale online can create an automated sales page, pitch, and put in this webinar and drive people to buy their products 24/7 without having to give that same webinar over and over. We've got I'll give you a case in point. We have got a franchise sales guy. I believe I mentioned his name last week on the webinar. On last week's training on the online pages and subscribe forums. He gives, just about every day, his company gives a webinar. It's the same webinar, so he's driving all of his prospects to it. And he's like, Jesse, a lot of times when their presenter's not there, I have to either get a hotel or I have to make sure that I'm near internet access so that I can give the presentation myself. And this webinar module has completely automated that entire process. They have now moved the guy that does the presentations a couple of times a day out of that department and put him in another department, so it's eliminated the expense, and that's a big expense. So this is going to open up a whole new avenue of income for you. Connie?
I'm still here.
Oh, good. I thought maybe everybody just got tired of me talking and left.
Yeah, no, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, my other phone must have been muted there. Yeah, this is going to open up a whole new world. This is very powerful, Jesse.
Oh, you're going to be able to, think of the competitors' products and what this is going to change the way people do business on the internet. And you just watch, just like, I remember when mobile phones came out, when the mobile apps came out, iTunes came out, and everybody's like, well, who would want it? Who would use that? And now, everybody, they get it. Everybody gets it. Even the baby boomer gets it. Mobile is in. And the same thing with this webinar automation. This webinar automation is in, and we're ahead of the curve. We're not behind it.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. This is Keith Stevens. I just figured out how to unmute my phone.
Well, congratulations, everybody. Let's give him a hand. Yay!
All right.
Having said that, my question is this: as a pastor, the creation of the video webinar, that is the idea that that's still created within ComS5 platform, or is this a webinar that's created and video recorded on a third-party device and then uploaded?
That's a really good question, Pastor, and I'm glad you asked that question. The live product is a live product. That is a separate module independent of Office Pro. And someone earlier asked if we could integrate that in so that the live product could be integrated with this. And we'll look into the viability of that. In this particular automated webinar, it is designed for you to record your desktop, record anything in video form, and then upload it into your HTML5 or video email library and utilize video to automate your, like video on demand to automate your webinars.
Yeah, what triggered the question was when you mentioned PowerPoint presentation, and that's what triggered my question. So therefore, if I'm using PowerPoint presentation, it would have to be captured all within the cameras, and it's in the way in which the entire presentation is being recorded, because if it isn't recorded, it cannot be uploaded.
Correct. And but let me bring something to your attention. Have you ever heard of a little piece of software called Camtasia Studio? I want you to write this website down. It's called TechSmith. TechSmith. TechSmith.
Okay.
Go there. Let me just go there right fast. Hold on. I love this software. It's great. www.techsmith.com.
TechSmith.com.
Yep. And I'm going to click on products, and the one you're going to want to look at is called Camtasia Studio.
Mm-hmm.
This Camtasia Studio is awesome. It records your screen, and it also utilizes your microphone so you can talk into the screen. And let me just demonstrate it for you for just a second here. I'm going to need to plug in. Let's see here is TechSmith. All right. Here's the actual software. Okay, it's video editing software, and it's so easy. You're going to be amazed. And let me just plug in my microphone so I actually have something that works, and I'll just give you a demonstration. And guys, when you make this training video, you can cut this out or you can leave it in, but we're going to take a look at it. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, I want you to record my screen. And this brings up a screen recorder like this. And you can bring it up and you can say, okay, I want you to record this much area of my screen. And we'll minimize this a little bit and bring it up here so that the screen is a little smaller, more along kind of like in ratio to, say, a laptop. Because a lot of people view this stuff on their laptop. So now I've got kind of what looks like would be about a good size for a laptop to record. Okay, so I bring my PowerPoint up, and when I click record, when I click this record button, it starts recording my screen within these little green squares. And so as I'm talking into the microphone, I need to bring my microphone over here and start talking in it. As I'm talking into my microphone, it's recording my screen.
Got it.
Okay, now I'm going to click stop. And it brings up a little preview. And you can see where it's my screen that I've recorded. So you can save it. And when you click save, then it will bring it up into the editor. And I say, no, I want to keep this in the recorded dimensions. Click OK. So here it is right here. So now you can, let's say that you make a mistake and you stutter. Maybe you forget where you are and you have to go back. You can just select the area that you want to cut out. You can use these little scissors to cut out that piece where you made the mistake in. And then you can produce this to an MP4 and upload it in the system, and you are done. Now you've recorded your desktop instead of having to use an external recording device to record it, and you're golden. Does that make sense?
It does. You solved my problem. I appreciate that so very much because I just could not connect the dots, but it's very clear to me now. Thank you for that clarification.
Good. Awesome. Any more questions?
Jesse, this is Fred Lovelace.
I'm sorry, can you speak up?
This is Fred Lovelace.
Hi, Fred. Welcome.
Thank you. This is a fantastic
Yeah, that's cool.
With the whole new dimension and everything. Restaurant.
Awesome. I'm so glad to hear you say that.
Now, will this be archived so we can go back on it?
You got one in D.C. and one someplace else, right?
Louisville.
Louisville.
Well,
Yeah,
Connie, I didn't hear what he said.
Yeah, he wanted to know if this would be archived. If everyone could mute their line, there's some extraneous noise there. Yes, Fred, it will be. Actually, Camtasia is being utilized to put the pieces together. Yeah, and we are archiving it. Yes, we will.
Thank you very much.
Gotcha. Okay.
Are there any more questions?
No questions.
No questions? Awesome. Well, we're going 1, going 2, going 3. I guess we're going to call it over.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jesse. We so
Thanks,
appreciate
Jesse.
what you brought to us and continue to bring to us. And
you're very, very welcome.
Very excited. That's there's a lot on the call. We muted the call, so you don't hear a lot of the other folks that have come on. But yeah, this is going to be a game changer for sure. So thank you for your time today.
Awesome. Well, I expect you to call me from your yacht next year.
Everybody will be on their yachts, and they will call you, guaranteed.
Giving automated webinars from
Yes.
the beautiful Bahamas.
You.
Awesome, guys. Y'all have a wonderful afternoon, and thank you so much for inviting me on the call.
Okay. Take care.
For now.
Bye.